also second, she's someone who scored both the Republican line and the Conservative Party line.
Wow.
But Mike Long did not sign for Wilson. And effectively, that was the Conservative Party saying, you don't have a home here. Well, I'm happy to say that Janis Castaldi, you have a home here in Log Cabin Republicans, and I'd like to welcome you. And welcome you as a candidate who you are endorsing for New York State.
Good evening, everybody. It's such a privilege to be with you here today. And thank you, Chairman Angelo, and the rest of the Log Cabin Republicans for inviting all of my family here to your family. I'm joined tonight by my wife of 12 years, Liz Endorse Castaldi, who is back there. And that's what separates me from David Carlucci, because I have the courage to stand up for what is right, to create jobs, to attract businesses back to New York, and to get the state back on track. You know, I know a thing or two about the failures of the Democratic Party, because for many years I too was a Democrat. But over the last few years, I've grown away from that party, or should I say they have perhaps grown away from me. You know, last night while watching the Republican convention, one of the announcers said something that really hit home to me. He said, when a puppy is first born, their eyes are closed, and they're a Democrat. And 2 weeks later, their eyes are open, and they're a Republican. And I'm here to tell you that my eyes are open, and I'm no longer a puppy. You know, over the last few years, I've grown away from that party. It seems like the economic crisis has weakened the Democratic agenda, which I have seen firsthand because I'm a small business owner in Westchester and own 2 businesses there. It seems like the Democrats have fallen silent on these issues. However, the Republican candidates and office holders attempt to sustain economic growth, confront entitlement reform, and ensure taxpayer protection. My opponent, David Carlucci, is a very interesting man because by his own admission, he tells the press he doesn't regularly read bills. He provided a rubber stamp for partisan redistricting at the expense of his constituents and party leaders. And he voted against Governor Cuomo's bipartisan pension reform plan. In fact, and I'm telling you, you cannot make this stuff up. In fact, he came to an extended session of the Senate. He interrupted a debate about same-sex marriage in order to propose a bill to make the onion the state vegetable of New York. And when the eyes glazed over in the Senate, he didn't know what to do. He wasn't going to talk about corruption. He wasn't going to talk about entitlement reform or the economy. So he decided, maybe they're glazed over because they don't like the onion. So now I'm going to flip and say, maybe sweet corn is the thing. It just flipped me out that we had such a speech about onions when such important issues were being talked about in the Senate. You know, it's said that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I'm lucky to even be standing here today. 13 years ago, I was struck by a car as a pedestrian, and the doctors told me I may not walk again. Well, they forgot that I'm a New Yorker. And within 2 years, I was out of a wheelchair, and within 1 year, by the faith of the loving people that were around me, and especially my wife, Liz, I did the New York City Marathon. Wow. I walked with the Children's Club, but now I'm running. I'm running for Senate. And I want to stand with you and for you to get our state moving again. Thank you so much for your endorsement. It is a real privilege, and God bless.